The moon enters the sign of Aquarius Sunday, October 22nd. Let's talk about it. So the first thing I'm going to say, like just hopping right into it, right? The meat and potatoes. The moon is still conjuncting Pluto. So when we talked about in the last moon message, when we talked about the moon in Capricorn, we said it's going to go over it's going to go over Pluto, and it's going to facilitate a major transformation. We're still in the middle of that transformation, even though it's now in Aquarius, because it's conjuncting, right? So not until, I would say, probably around like today. What time is it right now? It's 2:07. I would say honestly around like 4, like 3:40, 3:50 to like 4 o'clock today. The conjunction that it's making is going to like, it's not going to be making any like aspects to Pluto anymore. And I feel like that is going to be like a release, you know, like Pluto is like, okay, I release you now. Like I'm done like transforming you. Like I release you. You're transformed, you know? So I feel like today around 4, yeah, that's what we're going to be like released under Pluto's like transformative grasp, and we're pretty much going to be transformed. And also with the moon being in Aquarius, before, like when the moon was like in Capricorn going over Pluto, it was like, okay, we were transforming our status, we were transforming our business. Now with it being in Aquarius now, it's like now we're transforming our mentality, like our mentality, we're transforming our knowledge, like what we know. We're probably applying it in a different way, or we're reaching like we know what we know, but like we have like a higher, greater understanding of what we know now. And it could also be transforming your associations as well. There's going to be a lot of talking to yourself, a lot of shadow work, a lot of internal organizing. Like Saturn is like, especially with the moon in Saturn, like this is like internally organizing all of your emotions, all of your thoughts, like just getting it in order, putting your shit together internally. Now the moon is squaring the sun, so we're not really going to be able to focus. It's squaring Mars, and it's squaring Mercury as well, and it's squaring Jupiter. We're not going to be able to focus on our partnerships, on Bay right now, on our collaborations, right? Our commitments that we've made. First entering Libra season, especially during the Libra new moon. Well, actually, no. Well, yeah, during the Libra new moon, we're not really going to be able to focus on it. We're not really going to be thinking about it either. We're not really going to care to talk about it. We're not going to be analyzing it. We're not going to be motivated. We're not going to be trying to do that right now. We're not going to initiate anything that has to do with our partnerships and commitments. We're going to have very low faith. We're not really going to be connected to all the possibilities. We're not really going to be connected to the meanings and reasonings of why things happen, you know? But we are going to be able to transform with our conjunction to Pluto. And again, you know, conjunctions, they just happen. So we're going to be transforming, and we're just going to be pretty much occupied with that all of today. Just, you know, in our thoughts, talking to ourselves, and really just doing shadow work. Like today is a very much just shadow work day, and tomorrow morning. But around the afternoon coming into the night tomorrow, we're going to talk about it. So tomorrow night-ish, around like, I don't know the exact time, but I know it's going to be like around the nighttime, probably like 7. Moon trining the sun is the gift from the universe to be able to focus, to be able to express yourself, to be able to shine your light, right? To be able to pay attention, right? And it's a gift. So, you know, we're just going to be in a very expressive mood, and we're just going to find ourselves really focused. Now, again, by this time, it's going to be 0 degrees Scorpio. So we're not going to be paying attention to like our partnerships and commitments. It's 0 degrees, so it's going to have some influence, like, you know, and the moon's also in an air sign. It's an air trine, essentially. Even though the moon is going to be in a water sign, it's an air trine, essentially. So we're going to be, you know, a little bit more social. The way I'm seeing this is like all day today and the beginning of tomorrow, we're very isolated. We're very to ourselves. It's just a shadow work, period. Like, it's just figuring ourselves out, organizing our emotions, organizing our thoughts, organizing our feelings. It's okay, love. Don't feel bad about it. It's okay. So when we do that, I feel like, okay, we're transformed and we can come out now. So Pluto is going to release its wrath from us today, like tonight or whatever. We're still going to be isolated. We're still going to be to ourselves because of the square that it's making to Mercury, to the Sun, to Mars. We're not really going to be doing anything. And the square to Jupiter, we're not really going to have any faith. We're not really going to have any energy. Not really going to be amped up. We're not going to be able to focus, pay attention. We're not really going to be able to be active in our conversations. So it's very much just like we're kind of going through things, right? Like, and by going through things, it's really just, you know, the moon in Aquarius, we're organizing our internal world. It's like when it reaches 8 degrees and we're out of like that, we're not making an aspect to Pluto anymore. That's what it's going to be. Like, we're going to be transformed, and now it's like, okay, now I'm like this different person, and now I need to just kind of spend some time alone and kind of just organize my internal world and kind of get things in order. It's also going to be making an aspect to Saturn. It's going to be making a conjunction aspect to Saturn. So this is the ability to connect to the material plane, right? Connecting back to reality. It's like, okay, we were kind of in a daze, we're kind of detached and not really, you know, tuned in with everything that was going on in our world, right? We're very much to ourselves, very much doing shadow work, very much organizing our internal world. Okay, now it's making a conjunction to Saturn. This is the ability to come back, right? Coming back down to reality, and that trine that it's making to the Sun, right? We're like socializing, we're talking, we're having conversations, we're back active in these partnerships and commitments that we've started. And with the sextile that is making to Chiron, we're going to be pretty much learning from our mistakes, healing our wounds, and getting back out there into these commitments and stuff like that, right? Back to business. So around tomorrow nightish, we're going to be coming out of this little dark night of the soul period, I guess you can call it. And we're going to be socializing, having deep conversations with, you know, people. And that's also when the moon is going to be making a sextile to the North Node. So we're going to have the opportunity to move in the right direction. So it's kind of like we're coming out of this, you know, period, and we're feeling renewed. We're feeling fresh. We have a new stance on things, and it's like, what now? Well, you have this sextile to the North Node. Now you can move towards your destiny, but it's a sextile, so you could self-sabotage. There's a lot of Scorpio energy during that time too. The moon's going to be, not the moon, the sun's going to be in Scorpio by that time. Mercury's already there, Mars is there, so don't self-sabotage. Take the opportunity.